You know, for quite a long time, me and Sam was like my first editor, my right-hand man. And so me and him used to just ask these questions and, you know, just try and improve the YouTube channel. And I would kind of ask him, like, what do you think our focus is? Like, what's my special skill? I always thought it was leadership or influence or any of these things, you know, the books I was reading. And he was adamant it was actually storytelling. And I kind of agree with him. I actually do think it was storytelling that got us to this point, because imagine if I didn't tell the stories, how personal of the stories I've told about all of the bad habits I've done, the crimes that I've done and all this shit, right? If I didn't say any of that, but I was still had the same kind of leadership vibe, I still had the same kind of, you know, influence kind of talk, you probably wouldn't be here today. Chances are you're here today because you actually like my story, you related to me, you found my story emotional, funny, scary, sad. And that's why you felt significant emotions whilst watching my videos. And I think that's why you're here today as like a loyal fan, as like, you know, the top 1% type of fan who's actually bought like a program of mine. Number one, the moment you press record, start straight in with the story. One tip that I have learned from one of these books is to make the story exactly how you would actually speak. So don't make it weird where, for example, some people might start their story and be like, crash! And that was the sound. Like, bro, that's just weird. That's cringe. Start your story as if I was sat next to you and you were literally just telling it to me. And this is so important. Tell me it exactly how you would actually say it. Don't try and sound more like me. I saw a YouTuber today that I could tell was inspired by my videos, and he spoke like in a mimic of me. When I say like copy me or copy the businessman you want, it's like, you know, copy the video ideas, copy the style and stuff. Don't watch my videos and think, oh yeah, I'm gonna try and like, I'm gonna say the words how Hamza says it. I speak in quite like a, I don't know how you'd explain it. Almost like I'm giving a speech. That's just how I speak. If any of you ever meet me in person, you know I literally speak in the exact same way as I am now, as I am on video. But people try and copy it and it feels really inauthentic. When you're telling your story, you should literally be saying it as if you're sat next to a friend, and that's it. You're not trying to give a speech. Mine naturally sounds like that, but I literally talk like this, like to my family, to everyone, right? You're not trying to give a speech. You're not trying to actually like record a YouTube video. You're not even speaking to a camera. You're speaking to your younger self. That's the best piece of advice. You know, if we wanted to like, if I wanted to give you one piece of advice and never do a lesson on YouTube again, I'd literally just say, speak to your younger self. Forget everything else. It's for your younger self. It's as simple as that. It's for your younger self. When you press record and you're looking at the camera, literally just look and imagine it's your younger self and speak to them exactly the way that they needed to hear it. Because if you speak in this like boring, monotone way that you're trying to address this audience, is it really going to help your younger self? Now, you see some of the mannerisms I have in the way that I talk. Sometimes I'm shouting, sometimes I'm laughing, sometimes I'm leaning into camera. That's like what I would do for my younger self. Sometimes I swear at him because like I actually would do, but he'd understand. It's not like I'm not being mean when I say it. He'd understand because that's just the way that we speak. And it turns out that so many guys can relate to that. So I'd ask yourself this question right now for you to consider. It's this weird practice that you can do. When you've got time, or maybe for a few seconds right now, just visualize your younger self, almost like see him in third person. How would you actually help him if you were transported back? How would you actually talk to him? What mannerisms would you have? How much would your body move whilst you talk? Would you swear? Would you get loud? Would you speak very softly? Would you speak quickly? Would you speak with a bit of an aggressive tone, or maybe all the way just purely empathetic? What would have actually helped your younger self the most? What did he need? Like, if he could have had the dream big brother who would have actually really helped him with his developments, what would his dream big brother been like? Who he actually, this is very important, who he actually would have listened to. Because, you know, for a long time I read this book right behind me. If I just followed the principles from that book and I spoke in a very positive, like pleasant, soft way, again, no one would be here right now. I'd probably have 100k subs.